I'd like to talk about the second level Bukiwaza and the 31 Jo Kata, just to give you some pointers that you may or may not know about it. Here I've put some tape on the ground that it's a good idea to mark the area. So if you can see the tape in question, I'll just turn the camera down a little. Okay, so if you make a cross with tape, if you don't have tape, place something very flat. The problem is then you've got to step over it and your mind will start confusing about what you're supposed to be doing. So I'm just putting the tape down as an example, and then I will show it in another film, the 31 kata and the points. These points that we talk about, we were not born a martial artist, but after many years of training, hopefully you become one. It's very immature to look down. You'll notice that a lot of high grades, even in Iwama trained, once they've finished, they've done all this really, fast Aikido, and then they go and look down, and it destroys the whole Budo, the whole martial art side of it. You should be able to train yourself so that I can see where I am on the spot, and my vision is all around, up, down, side to side, so I know that I'm approximately somewhere here. Okay. So if I'm going to do the 31 Jo Kata, I can learn to go from side to side and across the tape. Okay, so across the tape. When you get to number 12, you should be able to put it down and it be on the spot. Okay. So those of you who don't know, you should be able to get to the same spot on 1, 12, 18, 26, 31. So there's 5 points where you need to finish, within a few centimetres of that spot. I've decided after all these years to make some allowances, and that is, Saito Sensei said it's O-Sensei's 31 kata, so it cannot be changed. We're not allowed to change it. And he made the 31 anti-kata to go with it, because O-Sensei, he tells us, so we have to believe what he said. He said, O-Sensei said to him, I have performed the kata and made this, and please put an anti-kata to it. So he done that. Now there's lots of, we're talking about the second Bukiwaza test, where you have to do the 13 Jo Kata and the 31. But in the fourth level, you will be doing the 31 Kumi-jo. So that's got many variations. People around the world have done lots of variations, and that's okay as long as you have in mind Takemusu. Takemusu can be translated in Japanese to Budo, the word Budo, right? So Budo means martial, as well as all the different terminologies Takemusu can be. So as long as it's safe for you, as long as it's safety in a martial way, you can change the anti-kata in all different directions. But don't just change it because it feels good, because Saito Sensei didn't make many changes to the anti-kata. I'm just giving you forewarning for this. He said I can't change it much until I make sure it's 100% keeping within the laws of Budo. Okay. So today we're talking about the 31 and the 31 Count Kata. I've been doing this now for many, many years, and I've decided that it's okay when you're doing it slowly, and he insisted that we count because he said it was a 31 count kata. But I've found that it's very disrupting when you're trying to do it at speed to count. So I personally suggest, and this is my own suggestion, perhaps other teachers will not agree with me, but I suggest that you don't count when you're doing it with speed. To me, it takes out the power. You know, you go edge, knee, sun. You know, your mind's busy counting, and it's not busy putting in the power. So if you're going to do it slowly, then yes, I agree, edge, knee, sun, shi. Okay, but if this is for the second Bukiwaza level, at the speed I shall want it shown, because they're teaching certification, not you practicing your own speed. If you're doing your own kata, my advice is don't try to count with it. He, ha, he, ha, he, he, ha. You know, because and at 12 it should be there. 12, 18, 26, 31. I think that way you can put more power into doing the kata and leave the counting out. Just do the counting when teaching and when doing it broken down in the stages. Okay. Always have some kind of marker. If you don't have, once you've got in the format of stepping across the cross, or say the line, and you end up being accurate, and you always know that you've worked out basically your steps, your footwork, then you don't need the, I mean, I never use the cross now, but you will need to use it until you're completely happy that every time you're systematic in what you're doing. I shall make a film of showing the pace of the 31 kata. I shall bring out some points that I feel that are important, and I hope they will help you wherever you are in the world to do better Iwama weapons, and perhaps go forward and into doing the Bukiwaza levels, and making myself and Sensei and Saito Sensei happy to know that we're trying to all polish and become more precise in the weapons. It's not a dance, it's not just something that you just wave a jo about having a good time. Each one has to be precise. They're aimed for things like the heart area here, the side of the head, the centre of the head, the knees. You know, they have to be accurate points. Number 9, when you strike, we used to step forward and strike the person on the side of the head. This was done, and then Sensei decided that in America it was too dangerous, and it was funny because the cost of teeth, he said, to have them fixed would be too much. So he changed this part and he made us go backwards. So instead of coming forwards, striking the head, and then down to here. We step back. but you still strike the head. Okay. There's a weakness there that I see many people do. They turn and they don't hit the head. They turn and it starts dropping off really close down here, so it goes perhaps across the torso part. Please watch others do it, you know, don't take my word for it, watch others do it and see what you think. But it should be a strike to the head. If I was to break it down slowly, it'd be a two-way thing. It would be 1, 2, or 1, 2, stepping back. So we'll show you this in a film where I go through the kata. First of all, counting. Thank you for your time. I hope this has helped. Don't mind the stuff.